Hello, everyone. Oh, that was really good timing on the music. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Fallen.
Ruined it. That was great timing. Fuck.
He's kind of confidently strode through it.
The music just went like, boom, and then like you know, went quiet.
The music doing now, sheepy.
It's clicking.
clicking and ticking.
We can't have a good intro. We haven't had one since the
I've never done a good intro since the
would've been
channel
great.
started.
Precipice of greatness.
I mean, there's way too much ADHD in this room for there to be a good intro.
Facts.
Way too much.
Plus, I'm being attacked by the environment. Oh, I had a joke, and it's to do with a game where it's like the environment. It's a really old. Fuck it. Anyway, like my brain was like, oh, Smackdown, Teardown, something like that. Shit.
Smackdown. Yeah, the wrestling game where the environment gave you a cough.
Oh yeah, brother.
Is poisonous.
Anyway, welcome back to Fallen. We're on episode number 4. That means we have a couple more left after this one. It's already been a hell of a ride. Both myself and Peachy were like, we've had 3 episodes, right? Right?
Yeah. Yep.
That
was. I was writing the go live announcement today. I was like, it's episode 4.
a lot has happened, to be fair.
Yeah.
It's been action-packed.
Yep.
But yes. So general channel things first before we get into it. I'm Sheepdog. This is the Wandering Inn. Thank you for being here, and you know, cool. Anyway, I am being attacked by the environment, and therefore, if you see me dabbing at my eyes, it is because they are running.
He's lying.
Emotional
It's
support, Trazin.
It's a really, really amazing role playing is making him cry.
It is.
That's what it is.
It is.
Absolutely. We haven't even started yet, and he's tearing up.
Yes, there is super chat. If you would like, you may if you would like, you may drop a super chat. If you want to ask a question of me or the cast, or just in general, feel free to drop it. All of it goes to cast pay and supporting the channel, doing things like production and all that type of thing. Past that, if you would like, there is also the Patreon. Patreon is a monthly thing, goes directly into, well, pretty much completely cast pay. So anyone on the Patreon, you're currently paying these guys to act the fools. Or
I still feel uncomfortable calling what I do acting.
Yeah, right.
I would if I were you.
Listen here, you little shit.
I'll go back through all of your roles in roleplay shows and just have a compilation, and I'll just call it Peachy acting.
A lot of air
After
quotes
every
in
clip,
that.
just it cuts your face and you go, acting.
Acting.
But yes, the Patreon is there. You can pledge as little as like half a Twitch sub, and weirdly enough, I get paid more than if you were to give me a Twitch sub. So that's a nice little bit of. Sorry, I know some of you just stream on Twitch. It's
Oh shit!
This
the
is a
veil
room of
has been
streamers,
lifted.
bro.
The Twitch is bullshit. What?
yeah, just a little jab there. But yes, essentially everything from the Patreon goes towards the cast pay, and anything past the cast pay, which we haven't got to yet, will go to production and things like that. Allow me to do things like, for example, the Duacromat Outlook, which was a really fun show, and lets me do extra stuff. My plan, my hopes, is to eventually have 2 live shows a week, and also a recorded show, which will, you know, similar to a Duacroma, or like try and do some fun post-production stuff, editing, etc. And also there is that thing where if we hit a certain number, I'll put it up on the Patreon very soon. I'll write a dirty novel and perform it on the YouTube.
That's fucking incredible.
Voice act it and everything. So
Yeah, he'll do it, and the pro wrestler voice, the whole thing.
Yeah, I will write a. This is not canon, so this isn't actually happening.
Pro wrestler romance.
I'll write a Hulk Hogan fan fiction.
Oh my god!
No.
I'm not doing that.
What if
Brother,
Hulk
you look
Hogan
lovely
wasn't
tonight.
racist?
He wanted me to measure his pythons.
No one will believe it, Rod. No one will believe it at all.
Ever since I stepped in the ring.
Oh, this is
Yeah.
the green. Wait.
Anyway, so yes, with that said, have a consideration on those. There is also the website. There is Twitter, which is also called X now. There is also the Discord. All of those places you can go to find shows, to get notified, and do other things. With that said, the only other thing to say is that all of these wonderful people do things, even if it's just have a Twitter. So go
Jab at Scotticus.
Yeah. Sorry, dude, I love you. Go check out the description. I mean, it could have been a jab at you, PG. Go check the description down below. The links to their things are there if you want to. Yeah. You can go to Twitter's Peachy. You can go to Peachy's Twitch and watch him acting.
Play video games and I say dick jokes. Wait, is Goobers gonna fucking content claim me now?
Am I gonna content claim you? Yeah.
Playing
Yeah,
games and making dick jokes.
Bomberman guy releases a video that just lights everybody on fire for plagiarism, and all of a sudden the nukes start flying, and everybody presses the content claim button.
Sorry.
Oh my god.
With that said and done, I believe I don't need to do anything else. Can anyone remind me if I've missed anything?
No.
I think I'm good.
I think I'm good. Okay, cool.
Good.
With that said, shall we do a little bit of a revisit of what has happened in Fallen, and then we will get into it. Previously on Fallen the Vampire Slayer.
I don't know why that got me. That was one of those where it's like the joke was really stupid.
Yes. Yeah.
Still really funny.
On Fallen last week, we started off with a confrontation with an Orc war boss, which, aside from I can't remember who exactly it was, but someone got bitch slapped. Oh yes, Morrigan, it was.
And
you.
it even made a ding sound after he hit my fucking head.
Well, look at it this way. At least over there on the ground, you didn't have to put up with being the bullet magnet that you usually are.
True.
So.
True.
Yes, we.
Wasn't even a Dark Souls boss either. He was like, the slightly larger enemy halfway through the run.
Yeah, like you have a vague idea of their pattern, but you just have to take a couple of hits before you really get the hang of it. So yeah, we had that happen, and then veteran Sergeant Tykar stepped forward to engage it in manly or possibly orcly one-on-one combat. Bit of dodging, bit of ducking, bit of use of experience, I believe would be the way to say it. He managed to, I believe, cut its hand off, and then...
I didn't quite remove the hand.
Right. Mostly remove the hand. And then use its own force of charging forward to impale its brain, its head, and then was killed. At that point, job done. Sorry, my brain went to job done. Which is a whole different kind of orc.
War boss dies. Okay.
The war boss dispatched and their job pretty much completed. They returned back to the strike cruiser and went on around about a months-long campaign of helping out the Imperium as and where needed, mostly with the orc problem that was happening in the area. I believe Maraban managed some very nice rolls and got himself a trophy. He has 2 orc tusks hollowed out, filled with like smoky incense that like disseminates some fun. I don't know if I said purpley, but thinking about it now, maybe like purpley.
Purpley.
Oh
You
well.
Yeah.
If Scoticus would have said it, he would have said purple.
Purpley.
I'm just thinking now, maybe purpley smoke, like incense smoke coming out of your back, is a bit too Slaanesh for the current campaign, but it's fine. Since when has someone with high medical knowledge ever gone over to Slaanesh? That's a joke for Warhammer 40K fans, and very specifically the
Fabulous Fabius.
Yes, the fabulous Fabius. Which, like, as a side note, when I was a kid, I always thought Fabius Bile was Nurgle, Death God.
Because he's got
There's Bile in his name. It sounds so Nurgle. But that's by the way.
Instead, he's the creepy uncle who just said, "You need more legs. You could use more
make
skin."
a Primarch.
Yeah.
I don't want him anymore.
Man is one knock to the head away from being an orc pain doc.
Yeah. Basically, what we're learning is that Space Marines are just like one notch away from being orcs. That's just in various flavors.
A
However,
very small notch in Morrigan's case.
this is not a 40k podcast, so I'm going to carry on instead
Shit, you're right. Oh no.
shit. But yes, past that, they were eventually sent to a world with a gene stealer problem. Landing and essentially doing the badass procession walk, you know, where the action heroes like all walk in a line towards the objective in slow motion with rock music. They appeared at what was one of the Gene Stealer cult HQs, proceeded to storm the building, murder everything in there, in a very cool action scene that I very much enjoyed. And
That was badass as fuck.
My favorite was still Pius. What's it called?
Burst into Kool-Aid Manning it.
Kool-Aid Manning it
Just
through the wall.
The verbiage that you used for that was even better too, which was just Pius walks through a wall.
Through the wall.
Not runs, not smashes. He just like walks through a wall and then starts the murder.
And then proceed the Astartes of the Fidelis Angelus proceeded to initiate a campaign to essentially beat down the Gene Stealer cult on the planet. Unfortunately, as time went on, they realized that even though anywhere they went, they managed their objectives and they kept succeeding, it didn't actually slow anything down, and it didn't make much of a difference to the spread of the Gene Stealer cult, to the point where the Imperial Guard regiment that was assisting on the planet, the Pegasi Guard, appears to have been compromised. Some of them have been Gene Stealer cultied, and it led to the death of veteran Scout Sergeant, I want to say, doing him Cassian Enkadil. Who was ambushed by a bunch of the guardsmen and shot and stabbed until death, managing to take out a significant number of them but unfortunately it was not enough. Sergeant Tykar pretty much ordered a complete extermination of the planet upon seeing this, as I remember.
Just a little bombardment of the entire
Chat,
planet.
I just want everybody to understand how fucking insane it was that we actually genuinely almost considered deleting a planet. It happened, it was a conversation, and nobody went, no, that's too extreme. Everybody kind of went, I mean,
so
that's a crazy deal.
they are a successor chapter, but don't piss off the Dark Angels. They have no chill.
None.
And yes, Maraban quickly recovered the gene seed, the body was retrieved, and they walked off to a pickup because as the bombardment of the headquarters of the Pegasi Guard was ordered, a coded message came from the commander of the ship that said that the forest moves, which was the code word devised to indicate that the real mission has begun, thus requiring the Astartes to leave whatever they were doing and to immediately head to a rendezvous to try and find a fallen Dark Angel. Back from the time of the Horus Heresy.
Yay!
Don't feel like
The
a...
second name was Heresy, and no one knew that.
Yeah. I don't feel like a member of the Astartes should cheer the Horus Heresy, but we'll leave it at that for now. Okay.
Sorry, too many random the hell are the names of the guns? Not the bolters, but the smaller guns. Starts with a B. That not Astartes use, just like standard, not las guns. It's like an actual projectile round.
The auto guns?
Nope. There is another name for it, and I am blanking the fuck out right now. Chat, help me out.
Too much brain damage, Morcon.
Too much brain damage. There you go.
I am unsure. Stub guns?
Maybe that's it. That actually might be it.
Stub guns, stubbers. Yeah.
Stubbers, yes. Okay, there we go.
But yes, the Astartes now have their true objective, of which I believe only 3 people on the ship are aware of.
Isn't it 2 now?
Well, it was 4. The commander of the ship has an idea, doesn't know exactly what it is, but knows that there is something. You know, she's done this before. The chaplain in training and the Sergeant Tykar. The only other one who knew was the Scout Sergeant Enkdil, who is now unfortunately deceased. And
did we carry his body?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
We did indeed.
And so
But we, Maraban's like, oh, come on.
I don't see the issue. Lift faster.
lift with your legs. And so,
He ain't heavy, he's my brother.
oh dear. And so, we fade in to a fairly quiet section of the ship. It has moved away from the planet and will shortly be moving into the warp to head to its destination. Sergeant Tykar, you have been told that it is heading to the planet of Sot Nasum. That is essentially where the commander would have briefed you very quickly on like what's happening. So the planet is Sot Nasum. It's currently embroiled in a war with its own population, having undergone a chaos insurgency. On this planet is a interrogator who's working for an inquisitor, who is investigating the situation. Word is that he has captured someone who has given implications that he has knowledge of something. Essentially, you know, the word is that he could be the target you're looking for, or very possibly will lead you to the target you're looking for. So I'm assuming that you won't want to make the jump before finishing the ceremony, essentially with the scout sergeant.
Yeah, I think we would have to
not do it in the warp, but needs must sometimes.
Yeah.
Oh, they're ready to go. But essentially, the default would hold off until afterwards. So, you're not coming through.
Oh,
there you are.
Hang on. There might be something wrong with my mic.
Okay.
We can hear you.
We could hear you.
Yeah, but it wasn't coming through at all, right?
Yeah, it did. Yeah, before that, it didn't come through for a second. So I'll take the assumption that you're going to carry out the ceremony quickly before you head into the warp. It won't take super long. In that case, the chamber itself is populated with multiple hooded servants, and essentially they are helpers. Some of them are failed space marines who survived. Some of them are from your homeworld, who are part of the enclave that knows the secrets and what's going on. They are in attendance and they see to the needs of the Astartes in general. However, this specific ritual, let's call it, is for the Astartes to preside over. All of them are there. All of the squad are there, aside from Pius Nephir, the chaplain in training, who is going to be joining shortly. There are kind of like low light, kind of almost giving that like flickering feel, like a medieval castle. And in the center, close up to the wall, is a sarcophagus. Very much like the sarcophagi of old, the coffins of kind of, let's say, medieval times. It is more intricately crafted. It is metal more than stone, but on top of it, it does have one of those big, heavy-looking lids with the being crafted of like almost like a medieval knight. There is a what's the name of it? The scout bolter. I think it's called a vengeance bolter. Is in between the grips of the hands, and almost like holding a sword. And the countenance is very vaguely reminiscent of an Astartes in general, but specifically Enkidu. And once the signal is given, his body will be brought in, put inside, and it will be sealed up, ready to be taken back to the homeworld.
Everyone is here apart from Pius.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm standing up front, facing away from everyone. Just looking at the sarcophagus. That's what it's called, right? Sarcophagus? Yeah. Not that kind of sarcophagus. Oh, that would be cool though if we had it. No.
Focus.
And I turn around and just sort of like look around everyone. everyone knew Brother Cassian. He trained most of us. Now here I am, standing on the day of his death. I don't do words, but this was an important brother in our chapter. He wore his uniform proudly, as we all do. And he wore his guilt unobserved. He was a Marine we can all look up to. He never reached for anything more. He just served. But Brother Cassian has his own guilt. A guilt that he can no longer bear. A guilt that we all have to bear. And as his sergeant, I need to bear that for him. I will not allow my brother's failure to be taken to the Golden Throne. And I turn back to the sarcophagus where some of his bits and pieces are, and I pick up his purity seal that he was wearing to go into battle. I hold it up. I will bear my brother's guilt. He will not take his failure with him. And I shall succeed by bolter, by sword, until it is done. And I fix the purity seal to my armor.
And as you fix the seal to the armor, the camera swings around and away to another section of the ship where, in complete darkness, aside from one candle, Pious Nephir is standing in a very secluded room.
Before me on the table is the metal box that I was given.
Is it time? Oh shit.
I reach down and push the button to open the box, and it folds open. And in it are the symbols and tools of a chaplain. I take a moment and I lift the helmet with the visage of a skull, and I hold it high above me, ceremonially with reverence. And I say, with the skull helm upon my head, and I fix it into place, I vow to be the embodiment of unwavering resolve. May it shield my mind from doubt and fear, and may its visage strike terror into the hearts of our foes. In the Emperor's name, I shall be the guardian of faith and the beacon of his light. I pause for a moment, and I reach in and I lift up the Rosarius, and again hold it up. And I hold it before me and say, with the Rosarius displayed with pride and reverence, I swear to be the bulwark against the tides of darkness. May it protect me from the corrupting touch of the warp, and may its radiance symbolize the purity of my purpose. May it protect me in the Emperor's name, and I shall be the shield of humanity, and I affix it to myself.
And thus armored.
And then I pick up the last piece, the Crozius. Again, hold it up reverently. And then before me, as I take up the Crozius Arcanum, the symbol of divine authority, I pledge to wield its power with righteous fury. With every swing, I shall crush the enemies of the Imperium. May it be a force of retribution against the heretic and the unclean. In the Emperor's name, I shall be the instrument of his judgment. With the Skull Helm, Rosarius, and Crozius united, I, Pius Nephir, pledge my life and soul to the eternal service of the Emperor of mankind. I am the shield against the darkness, the sword of his wrath, and the unwavering beacon of his light. By the Emperor's will, so shall it be. And I affix the Crozius to myself.
And thus armed and armored, you are ready, as you have been training to, and to a degree effectively doing, to safeguard the souls and well-being of the Astartes, of the Fidelis Angelus.
I reach down and ever so gently pinch the candle and put it out, and then turn and leave the room.
And the camera fades and swings back towards the funeral service, as it were. And I would assume with the affixing of the seal, that would essentially be the moment for the body to be brought in.
Body? Was I not talking to the body?
You were talking essentially over the casket that he's going to be put in.
Right, got you.
And then he's going to be brought in, placed in, and then it's going to be sealed.
There's no body? Oh my god.
You did bring the body back. So
Weekend at Bernie's.
I imagine that the body is brought in as Pius in his properly decked out with helmet and everything, kind of marches in. The body is brought in behind him, and essentially, Sergeant Kaikar, I'm assuming once you have said your piece, you're going to step away from essentially the head of the table, as it were.
Yes.
As the body is brought in behind Pius, you move to that kind of standing in front of at the head of the sarcophagus, and the body is brought to the foot so that it can be Move to the side, placed in when ready. Essentially on your signal.
I look around at the gathered brothers. Today, beneath the somber shadow of our chapter's banner, we gather not only to mourn, but to honor a stalwart servant of the Emperor, a paragon among our ranks, veteran Scout Sergeant Cassian Enkadil. Let us reflect on the enduring legacy of a warrior whose devotion to the Emperor spanned centuries. Cassian was not merely a brilliant scout. He embodied unwavering loyalty, an exemplar of the finest virtues that define our chapter. In countless battles, amidst the unforgiving crucible of war, Cassian stood resolute, a guardian of the Imperium. His keen eyes, honed by years of service, pierced the veil of darkness, guiding our forces with an acumen unmatched. A silent, vigilant sentinel, he tread where others dared not, and his mastery of the art of stealth became a beacon for those who aspired to follow in his illustrious footsteps. Yet Cassian was more than a master scout. He was a mentor, a teacher whose wisdom and guidance shaped the very fabric of our chapter. He committed himself to the noble task of training aspirants and new recruits, instilling in them the values of duty, of honor, and of unwavering faith in the Emperor. Today, as we stand in the hallowed halls of our revered ship, let us not dwell on the sorrow of his passing. Cassian would not have us mired in grief. Instead, let us celebrate a life lived in service to a greater purpose. A life that has left an indelible mark on the annals of our chapter's history. In the crucible of battle, let us find inspiration in his courage. In the shadows he once tread, let us find guidance in his wisdom. In the hearts of those he trained, let us find the enduring flame of his legacy. Cassian Enkadil, a name woven into the fabric of our chapter's legacy, shall not fade. He has ascended to the Emperor's side, his vigilant watch now a part of the eternal tapestry that guides our righteous cause. For Cassian, the journey has ended, but his legacy, like the Emperor's light, shall endure for all eternity.
There is a moment, and I'm assuming that's when, essentially.
Yeah, a signal for them to bring his body in.
Quite a few of them.
Or place it in, yeah.
They bring it in, they reverentially lower it into the sarcophagus, and then essentially a button is hit. Slightly mechanically slides over and then kind of lowers itself with a little bit of a hiss, and then there are sparks as it seals itself around the edges. And veteran Scout Sergeant Cassian Enkadil will be preserved until he makes it back to the homeworld. At this point, essentially the more official ritual has finished, and the Astartes head about their daily tasks or duties or training.
Yeah, I'm gonna go training.
Maribel wants to go up to the coffin afterwards, like when the room is clearing out or cleared out, and walk up to it, and it kind of make sure like it's just between him and Cassian, and he'll put his hand on his chest and be like, brother, your sacrifice was unfortunate. You knew that serving the Emperor, you may die. But you've given me a chance for redemption. And I thank you. This small honor after your sacrifice has given me a small bit of calm. Thank you. And then he kind of ducks his, like, you know, bows his head for a minute and then walks away.
The body, well, the sarcophagus itself will likely be stored in your medical area at some point, but there's no hurry, especially to move it. So, yes, I think after that, the ship becomes more of a hustle of movement with the serfs, the servants, you know, basically getting everything locked down and prepared for travel through the warp. The captain essentially sends an underling over to you, Sergeant Tykar, just to let you know that the plan is to transition into the warp and to head to the objective. And it's a formality. She can do what she wants. It's her ship, but just basically saying like, good to go, thumbs up.
Yeah, he probably walks on me like just wailing on a combat servitor, just like ripping into, like, feel not power sword on, but just smacking this thing with my blade. It's not even training. It's just like
a little bit of therapy.
Yeah, a little bit of therapy. He comes in, and I just stop and understood. I wait for him to leave before I carry on.
Oh yeah. He probably waits a while until you notice him, and then immediately once the message has been delivered and acknowledged, he just very quickly leaves.
Probably quite quickly.
The ratings of the ship are not directly associated to the chapter. The commander is. The ratings tend to be, you know, pretty much whoever they can get who in the area. So they are more uncomfortable with the Astartes of the Fidelis Angelus than you know.
Yeah, I'm probably walking into a training room with just this topless brute with like ports from the black carapace coming through, just wailing on a servitor. Yeah, that's probably not a comfort.
Yeah, no, that's a worrying position. And as the ship goes into the warp, and starts traveling through the warp, I think the first moment that we'll visit is when Morakil searches out and finds Moracon. Where would Moracon be? I would say this is probably a little bit after the let's call it funeral service for the sake of argument.
Yeah, Morcon is gonna be. I would say he'd be in his quarters, and if Morkill came in, he wouldn't even need to ask. Like, he'd just be able to come in, and what he'd see is Morcon is sitting, like I'm sitting on my bed or whatever, and looking through these like pieces of paper, or a data slate. Nah, that'd be paper. And he's just kind of looking through these and like laughing, just kind of like doing this. Hello, brother. Good to see you. Just reminiscing a bit. And he holds up the papers, and they're all of the written, not citations, but like every time Enkidiel like wrote him up for being an idiot while he was training him, he has the receipts. He likes to look back and reminisce on the kind of bullshit that he got up to. And he goes, remember this one? We punched a hole in that fuel tank. I don't know how we didn't die. That was amazing. And this one, what? How did you not know I had a round left in the chamber? You killed four menials in one accidental shot. It was amazing.
It was your job to clear the chambers of the weapons.
It was, which is why I have this.
It is why you have that.
We have the memory. And it's training still, right? We can't forget that. I mean, he's gone, but we're still here. And we exist because of his training. I don't really have much to say at the funeral, and I feel weird now that there's nothing to do about it. Normally when there's an issue or a problem or a thing that we experience, there's always something to do. It's odd to me to just sit and remember. It doesn't feel right.
It doesn't feel right. It doesn't sit well with me to not be able to affect the outcome of something calm.
I can't believe he got away from us. He's not the first brother we've lost. He won't be the last. In the Emperor's name, we'll be lucky to get a proper send-off like he did.
He's not the last, and definitely not the first. He is the oldest. He is the most experienced and the smartest. And it doesn't sit well on my shoulders that he died to a simple ambush.
You know, we're played up by the rest of the Imperium that we're the perfect god soldiers. You know, like we are infallible. But we know that's not true. We know that's not true at all.
We do.
I don't have what many would say conventional wisdom or intellect. I speak with my hands. I speak with my bolter. But I will say this. We are not perfect. Neither you or me, neither those who taught us, or those who came before them. Our past is marred with scars that go back millennia. We're not perfect. And even though it seems as though the entirety of our training, upbringing, and existence has been triumph marred with guilt and failure, one of the things that we could use and weaponize the best to our ability would be an understanding that failure is inevitable, but it is a path to growth. Morkan just kind of goes, yeah. And he's talking to Morakil about this, right? He's comforting his brother, but he's also like, the fuck did I just say? Like, holy shit. And he realizes he's talking to himself, you know? We can still be effective soldiers and weapons, even with these. And he shakes the receipts, you know? We can still do what we do best with these, even with these. And Enkadil was still an amazing soldier. He still fought for the Imperium. He still fought for our chapter. He still fought for our Gene Sire. And he will not be forgotten. Every time we step on the battlefield is in remembrance of him. And our enemies will feel his wrath. So, it may not feel right, and it doesn't. But we honor him by living through him. Rather, we honor him by him living through us. I remember his lessons, and I know you do too.
I do. And
so let's do what we do best and honor him the way that we can.
Perhaps through our actions, from his training, our actions on the battlefield, our victories will become his as well.
I think that's what he would have wanted. I mean, I know that's what I would want, what you would want, right?
I have a question, Con.
Yeah.
If we didn't have to leave so swiftly, if we had have stayed on that Emperor-forsaken planet, what would you have wanted to do?
Internally, he asked that question. Internally, Morakan just... He doesn't think that far, you know? So he takes a real big pause and just kind of... I don't know. I mean, we've been on hopeless worlds before, but just follow orders. But with such a small group and so much responsibility, I don't know. If the choice fell on my shoulders, it was long past saving. That planet was dead. Unless we had more of our chapter, a massive amount of our chapter, that planet was done for. I think what the brother sergeant did was right. We got called away, but I would have said the exact same thing. Target the guard posts, target the base. Burn it from the root.
When I saw Cassian lying there, betrayed and shot and stabbed, I didn't even want to bombard the headquarters. I wanted to walk in there and rip the remnants of that pathetic guard troop apart. And I had no interest in saving the planet anymore, or the people. I think the hardest thing, aside from essentially being ineffective, as good as we are, I don't think that planet was worth Sergeant Engadil. I think that planet should have burned, and he should still be here with us.
We can't see the future. We can't see the future. I know everybody outside of both of us thinks that I'm the hothead. But I know you. When you get mad, when that moment arises in which it causes you to boil over, that's what needs to be kept in check. Your brother died, and you have every right to be angry and filled with rage and fury. But if you let that rage and fury overcome you and you don't deal with it, it becomes everything about who you are. I may be outwardly ragey and outwardly loud and a bit dumb from time to time. But it's a controlled venting. We have that rage, me and you. We're from the same stock. Who our parents were is irrelevant. They gave us this rage. Our brother died in an unjust and awful way. And you are angry. As you should be. But don't let that rage overcome you. If you let it, there's no end. It is a bottomless pit. Don't let it consume you. Live with it. Accept it. Use it. But if you give in to those moments, there's no coming back.
Do you recall being told on multiple occasions by the sergeant to be more like me?
I do.
I think this is the first time I've ever been told to be more like you.
We could just keep that between us.
I may have lost a brother on Yavian, but the rest of my brothers are here on this strike cruiser. And he smashes his fist against your chest.
Yeah.
And says, if you go before me, I'll burn at least a couple of planets for you.
You know that's not going to happen, though.
No.
You know that's not going to happen. And, yeah, I would assume that just kind of, it fades out as like they're kind of like laughing and just, you know.
Yeah. Morakil seems a little more light of heart than when he came in, at the very least. And the camera fades in in the newly fully decked out chaplain, Pius Nephil, as
Fucking go.
Astartes' brother Arcorian steps into your chambers. You've been notified that he's on the way. Essentially, a servant told you that he was requesting an audience. I'm assuming, although feel free to retroactively change it, but I'm assuming you'd be okay with that.
Yeah, I was gonna send for him actually. So it's good.
So he steps in and essentially stands at attention.
Brother Akorian, please, sit.
Thank you, Chaplain. And he takes a seat.
You wish to speak with me?
I realize that I am in terms of age the least of us, and I've been finding it hard, Chaplain, to come to terms with the loss of veteran Scout Sergeant Enkadil.
Yes. I think everyone finds it difficult. He was so much of what our chapter represents. And more than that, he was a mentor to many, a teacher, a guide. Everyone feels his loss. You are not alone. Know that.
But it's not even just his loss. We landed on that planet to push back the tide of an insurrection led by Xenos. We went all over where we were needed, and everywhere we went, we succeeded. And yet, leaving the planet felt like a failure. It felt like we were running away.
The failure is a large part of the history of the Empire. It is, we have experienced many. It is how we overcome those failures that has made the Empire what it is today. Someone failed. We can't say exactly who, but someone failed to protect those people before we arrived. Could we ever have succeeded in eliminating every last molecule of Xenos scum? Every last breath of heresy? I do not know. But our efforts to overcome that great failure have made each of us stronger. There is no comfort from failure that I can give you. There's no comfort I can give you that makes sense of the passing of Cassian and Cadil. But we can overcome failures. And we can honor those who have passed. And the greatest way we can honor our teacher, our mentor, is to take his lessons and beat them in to the heretics, into the enemies of the Empire. Let us take out our frustrations on them. You'll experience many more losses in your service to the Emperor, Mercurian. And one day, if you are so fortunate, you will die in battle, performing your duty. And we can only hope that when our time comes, our passing will have such meaning to our brothers.
Yes, Chaplain.
We have a mission. We will achieve it. Have faith and discharge your duty in honor of Cassian and Cadil.
I'm ready to die for the Emperor, Chaplain, if needed.
Good. And you can put that aside and make your focus your duty. You have no fear of death. You're prepared. For one so new to his duty, that is promising. Make him proud.
And unless you have anything else you'd like to impart to the...
No, I deliberately don't quite dismiss him.
Yeah.
And just leave a bit of silence for him to stand in. Just to observe him a little bit, see how he's taking it in.
It's gonna squirm a little.
Yeah.
I would say, and I was also semi-considering whether this would be a role. However, unlike the Sergeant Tykar, your job is essentially to ascertain, like, mentally and spiritually how the Astartes are doing. It's something you've been trained to do. So it's something that I don't really feel needs a role. It's something you would pick up on, you know, unless they're intentionally trying to be deceptive, which is not the case here. He seems to be restless. And I would say there seems to be something on his mind that he hasn't expressed, essentially, but that he is mollified by what you've said. Like, he understands what you said, and he's like, so he's kind of settled a bit, but still, yeah.
Does something still trouble you, brother?
I find it hard to make peace with the nature of the Sergeant's death.
Indeed.
It doesn't seem worthy of someone with a status such as him. I always imagined if anything managed to kill the Sergeant, much like with Sergeant Tykar, when I saw him dispatch the orc war boss, I felt myself filled with righteous zeal and fought all the harder because of it. I cannot imagine Sergeant Tykar being taken down by a small mob of humans.
For every body you saw there, fallen around the scout sergeant, there could have been 2, 3, who knows how many more. Yes, he deserved a death more glorious. And I myself am saddened I don't get to impart my vengeance personally. But know that the Empire will not see such treachery and heresy go unpunished. I am very certain. I'm very certain he will be avenged thoroughly.
Yes, Chaplain.
His death could not bring him honor in the way that you see fit. I can see that. Then may your life bring him honor instead. Perhaps, brother, some training. I think that would be a very good start. Would you like me to join you?
Yes, Chaplain.
Let us train. Make sure we are honed so we can best honor Veteran Scout Sergeant Cassian Inkadil.
And he rises, and I'm assuming you both head off to the
let's go. And I
training arena.
when I train him, I push him hard. Like I push him hard. Like I give it not my all, because I'm a little older than he is, not by a whole lot, but he's very fresh.
He is very fresh, yes.
How old is he?
He has been a Marine, a full-blown Astartes for just a year.
Oh my god.
So
Baby.
he's fresh.
Yeah.
Holy shit, he's a baby.
Yeah, so I push him like pretty hard.
And
And I'm not to the point of breaking him, like I try to like work that fine line, like really push him to his limits.
yeah. He's also during the training, it's something you probably all noticed to a degree in combat, but he doesn't have the full stoicism of an Astartes, and he doesn't know how to hone like, for example, the way Morrigan does, of like taking his impulses and his the emotions he does have in a productive way, like honing it towards. So he's sloppier, like, he's still an Astartes, but he's easier to trick. He's easier to overpower. He doesn't quite. He doesn't like. He has the power. He doesn't have the experience. Someone like Sergeant Tykar would wipe the floor with him.
Yeah, so I will train him for probably hours. Train with him, spar him, push him. With other people come in, like Morrigan or Morrigan, I'll have them like 2v1 him. I'll train like hard. And then
I'll beat
at
the
end,
snot out of him. Morrigan just like, let's go.
And at the end of it, I'll bring him something to drink and sit with him. And I'll put a hand on his shoulder. Brother Akorian, I think Cassian Inkadil is smiling by the Emperor's side. I have
And
someone such as you ready to honor him.
Alcorian, kind of like fairly, dirty and bruised and a bit bloody, nods and looks at you and says, I think the chapter's in good hands if you're going to be taking up the position of chaplain.
Thank you, brother.
And the camera fades out as it switches to a kind of side profile of the strike cruiser as it barrels through the warp. Very, very similar to very similar visually to Stargate as they go through the Stargate, except for instead of blue and white, it's kind of purple and pink, and occasionally you see a shadow in the trajectory, which sometimes passes by quite quickly. But let's not worry about what that is.
Oh, what the fuck, Mom?
Just a kid on a tricycle.
The Wizard of Oz.
Just a cow flies past.
Yeah.
Although technically, I guess it would be a Grox, but that's fine. So there is a reasonable amount of time spent going through the warp, seeing as you're going to a new area of the sector. This is a fair bit further away. Yes. There is one more thing that does happen, which is... Oh, I need to find the... I believe she's here. Ah, yes. Sergeant Tykor. While the ship is in transit, probably, I would say the day after the funeral, maybe two. I don't know how shut off you're going to be after that, in terms of access as opposed to emotionally.
I wouldn't be shut off to the ship, mistress.
Okay. I would say in that case probably a day later, a little bit of respectful time, but not too much. Commander de Braal visits your chambers with an aid and a data slate. And she says, Veteran Sergeant, I have brought a briefing for you detailing the situation on the world you're going to.
Please go ahead.
Of course. And she waves forward the aide who they step forward and place the data slate in front of you, bow and step back, and then leave the room. She has her hands, like the semi-at-ease stance, I guess, and says, we are traveling to the Imperial world of Sot Nasum. It is currently in the grips of a insurgency led by the forces of the enemy. As things currently stand, the PDF has been bolstered by regiments of the Cadian Shock Troops, the Mordian Iron Guard, the Nocturne Strike Forces, and Athonian Tunnel Rats.
Nocturne?
Noctan.
Oh.
I was like, what?
Yeah. Not Nocturne. Calm down, frickin' Night Lord
Shyamalan
Maniacs.
twist. Let's go.
Don't no one want anyone from Nocturne on their planet.
No.
Cadian, Nocturne, what was the other one? Did you say?
Cadian Shock Troops, Mordian Iron Guard, Noctan strike forces, and Athonian tunnel rats.
Mordian is the guys in the real clean blue suits, right?
The majority of these regiments, I'd say, probably aside from the Cadians, who just end up everywhere. And this is, yeah, like, if any of you hear of these, most of these regiments are fairly well known. Aside from the Cadians, they tend to be a mixture of infiltrative, trench warfare, and urban combat specialists.
Dude, I just googled what the Athonian tunnel rats look like, and
Cool.
how are they not chaos? Like, what the fuck? They're really cool, but like, Jesus, they look evil as shit.
Yeah, they really do. They really do.
Is there any information on the sheet about the Inquisitor?
So I'll just finish the thing. So she says, all regiments have been deployed to the battlefield to hold for reinforcements. Word is within the month, multiple regiments will be en route and landing to initiate a counterattack with the help of the Emperor's Havoc and Night Swords, Astartes chapters.
Who are they successors to?
Both Imperial Fist successors.
Oh, okay.
Which I guess kind of makes sense. As things are, the battle lines are currently stable with very little movement. This is as per the last report and request for assistance.
Good old trench warfare.
And that's all that's on the sheet. Is she telling me this, or am I reading this on the slate?
Mixture of both.
Okay.
Once we have exited the warp and are in hailing range of the planet, I will contact the planetary governor, and we will request permission to assail the battlefield.
Please belay that. When we drop in, I'd like you to scan for an Inquisition ship.
Yes, Lord.
And I would like to know any information. You do not need to stay hidden. I will make my decision after we have that information.
I will inform you as soon as it is done.
Thank you, ship mistress.
And she does the sign of the Aquila. Is there anything else you need?
Do you have an auto artisan aboard the ship?
I do not believe one was given to this voyage, sir. Did he freeze?
I think he did.
Okay.
I think so, yeah.
He did this like quick look, and then I was like, "Is that dramatic pause or is that freeze?"
You don't have an auto artisan? What the fuck?
Ichi knows what stoic means.
Yeah, right.
He knows what stock means.
So we will give it a sec, and if necessary, we will go to a quick BRB screen to see how the sergeant is situated. Just trying to. Oh, there he goes. Okay.
Okay.
In that case, not something we do all the time, but we will take a quick 5-minute break, everyone, and we will be back when we see the PG situation. So we are back momentarily, and And yeah, see you in a little bit.
Oh, there he's.
Oh,
You saved the stream. Good job. You're back.
Oh god.
I don't know what the fuck happened.
You
Everything
left us.
just went for like half a second.
We just assumed that you were so angry that there wasn't
Yeah,
an auto, whatever it was you were asking for. That,
Oh god, he's gone again.
Oh no. Okay, we can't actually talk about the thing. Then.
I will actually go to a be right back screen, and we will figure this out and then see how it's going. Okay, be right back in a couple of minutes, guys. Oh, hey, look at that. We're back.
Oh my god!
Although
nobody talk about the thing that PG was just asking about, or his internet will explode.
yeah, every time we mention it, let's see if it holds up. You are all back in the correct places. Sergeant Tykar, please ask the question again, and hopefully you won't disconnect from reality.
Mistress, do you have an auto artisan?
We do.
Good. I wish to see them. And then I'll dismiss her.
Yeah.
Unless she's got anything else to tell me.
I believe that was everything in the brief.
I'll dismiss her and then I'll go find the auto artisan. Which is not like a servitor, but it's a heavily modified, kind of Mechanicus level modified artisan.
Yeah.
They do create art, but Astartes use them for tattooing because obviously Astartes heal a lot. You really got to get that ink in.
Yeah. What are you getting done?
So I ask to get veteran scout Cassian Enkadil's name tattooed, and I remove my robes, and there's about 716 names tattooed across my chest.
Whoa! What the fuck?
I'm pretty old, bro.
Damn, son.
Yeah. No, it's I imagine the process takes a little bit of time.
A little bit, yeah.
So
it's hard to, someone who's impervious to damage, it's hard to get tattoo on them.
It's
you don't say.
just have to do the initial one and then go over it a few times like an Inca,
yeah.
I wanted to make a Batman reference. What the hell is the name? Zaz.
Oh, who puts a mark on him every time he kills someone.
Oh, Calendar Man?
No.
Victor Zaz.
Yeah.
Every time he kills someone, he marks it, and he's literally like completely covered. I was just like, makes me think of like anti-Zaz, like every time someone under his command dies, it's like.
That's what I thought. The exact same thing when he said that. So, yeah.
I think if you see his chest, the first ones that look pretty old and faded at this point, in a fairly large font. But you can see as the years go by, they get smaller because he's living longer and he's lost a lot of people.
Yeah.
It reminds me of like custodian names.
Oh yeah, the custodian.
They have like the continuously get more names as like things. So it's the opposite of that, right? It's like the failures versus the victories,
A fallen friend is how I started with tattoos, so I understand.
Yeah.
Fallen? Did you
say fallen?
I did.
Mine?
I guess just smashes through the screen with his croziers.
Have you guys seen the Dark Angels meme of the seagulls from Finding Nemo? Except for it's just fallen. So instead of mine, it's just like fallen, and then just like.
That is very much us, though. Let's be honest here.
So, unless anyone has any other instances to highlight through the trip,
I'd have a meeting with Tyker.
Yes. Okay.
Most likely.
I would probably specifically request a meeting with you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I'll go to your quarters. Yeah.
Probably the war room. Probably my quarters are really small, and I just set up in the war room because there's a desk. And you'll know where to find me.
I knock at the door.
Enter.
I walk in. Sergeant.
Chaplain. And I stand and offer you a seat.
I bow my head a little and sit down. Scout Sergeant was a great loss.
He was. He will be remembered.
We will see this mission through. For him, as well as to fulfill our duty.
Our circle has shrunk, and I am at a loss of what to do.
I believe we should charge forward towards our quarry with a singular determination and let nothing get in our way and no one What news do we have of our quarry?
So I pull up the sheets just to reference, and I explain the situation on Sotnan.
Yeah.
There appears to be civil war, painted with the arch enemy. We know there is an Inquisitor, which ordo I do not know. Because realistically, it could be one of two, right?
Yeah, I mean, well, also...
Alias or Hereticus.
Yeah. You know that there is an inquisitorial agent who has requested an interrogator. Essentially, a interrogation specialist.
We have an interrogator specialist?
No. The request was intercepted.
Oh, got it. Dark
yeah.
Angel shit. Got it.
Dark
got
Angel
it, got
shit,
it.
yeah.
Perfect.
Oh, right. Okay, so we're going to bring the Inquisitor to the agent.
You're essentially going to investigate the inquisitorial agent who requested an interrogation specialist because the chatter was essentially like,
and we intercepted that, or we heard it on its way?
Intercepted. Essentially, it was intercepted. It was passed through to your chapter, and then
it was definitely not originally intended for us.
No,
but
no.
Dark Angel shit, and we went, well, I'll take that.
Yeah.
Needless to say, it sounded enough to indicate, a
second look.
So they believe they have caught a traitor or someone who can lead them to one.
At the moment, we do not know. As I said, we do not even know the order. But it would not have been passed to us if it was not likely.
Indeed.
I'm glad we have our own interrogator now.
How would you like to approach our interactions with the Inquisition?
Obviously, with the respect and foresight they deserve. On the outside, I have no love for the Inquisition.
If they should get in the way, prevent us, should they become an obstacle to our goal, I will remove them.
As it should be. Hopefully some sense can be talked into the agent.
Yes. I hope it won't be necessary.
It will be difficult for our chapter to hide indiscretions if it's directly on an agent, but not impossible.
I will be careful, and I will adhere to your wisdom, Sergeant.
I'd actually like to. No, she's not in the inner circle. She just knows stuff, doesn't she? The all we have in the circle is just me and the chaplain now.
Yeah, she's not aware of the details of the mission, but she's very used to running, let's call it clandestine Dark Angel operations, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
Dark Angel shit.
Yeah.
May need to do some Dark Angel shit.
Mm-hmm.
I may need to bring the ship mistress and ask her to set up a firing solution on the Inquisition ship.
If we have to deal with the Inquisition, we should remove them and any evidence
They must be
that they would ever hear.
decimated. All reports.
Everything.
I do not wish it to come to that, Chaplain.
I understand. Discretion first.
Persuasion.
Very well.
There is another matter.
Yes.
If we find our quarry, there will be questions from the fourth.
I believe our brothers can follow orders and not ask questions. Especially when those orders come from you, Sergeant. They respect you.
I look like I dismiss that in my head. I don't say anything, but I look like I dismiss what is a compliment.
Yeah.
It's a fact. They respect you, for sure.
I definitely look like I dismiss that, but I definitely don't say anything out loud.
Mm-hmm.
Brother Lazriel will question it.
I believe I can keep Brother Lazriel focused and in line.
There is another option.
If it comes to it, I'm prepared to see the mission succeed. And our secret.
Chaplain's a crazy dude.
Secret.
I meant more. We have an opening in the circle. You know Brother Lazriel?
He is prideful, perhaps. Not without reason. He is very capable. He aspires to greatness. I wouldn't dismiss the idea.
We still have some time in the warp. Would appreciate if you could speak to him.
I will. And I shall look over his records once again.
Considering your newly appointed position, the choice should be yours.
Very well. Thank you, Sergeant.
Brother,
By the Emperor.
good to have a chaplain on board.
Thank you. I stand and leave. And I'm already bringing up Lazriel's like records and stuff like that, and flicking through them.
Would you like a brief rundown of Lazriel, or?
I'm just looking for anything that stands out in terms of like insubordination, things that would be a red flag, like anything like getting not listening to orders, a bit too nosy, anything that's like it would be a concern for bringing him into the inner circle.
He towards the beginning of his time as a full-blown Astartes, even a couple of times as a scout, he did not in a serious way, but he did challenge himself against his superiors. There was actually an instance where he fought veteran Sergeant Engadil for a good couple of hours non-stop. He's not particularly great with bolters, ranged weapons so much. He prides himself in being strong with a blade. But it seems like as time went on, especially when he went into Fourth Company, kind of stopped trying to challenge like the sergeants, the captains, like stopped trying to test himself against fellow Marines. The suspicion and the notes as well on his actions seems to suggest that he didn't find the scouts engaging or challenging. Probably mostly because it's more stealth recon and long-ranged combat. Once he managed to find himself in a position to get a bit more, into grips with things. He has on a couple of times been suggested for a position in an assault squad. That's jetpacks and chainsaws and stuff, but so far hasn't happened.
Okay, so overall fairly promising, very driven. Okay.
Notes of arrogance and overconfidence.
That's the part that concerns me just a little bit. Like if he feels like he's entitled to become better and stronger, more powerful, and the recognition of it. Just, and
maybe a slight lack of being circumspect as well. Just because, anyone who challenges the people directly superior to them in terms of rank isn't really thinking through their actions. They're kind of like, these must be the strongest, right? So I'll see how strong I am compared to them.
Yeah.
No one wants to tell Mervin or Morkan anything.
Now
You're
we're
not
good.
ready to be Knights of the Order, dude. I'm sorry.
Your shit going on. Morkan's just like, what can I punch? Whatever. It's fine.
I mean, Morkan has been the least circumspect of probably the company for quite a while. And Maraban just got out the punishment box.
Yeah.
They aren't the first choices, definitely, I would say. If you would like my kind of like put probably both Pius and Tykar's like thought process through a little bit.
Oh, I completely understand their thought process.
No,
Yeah,
I mean for their sake in terms of the squad, I would say the most likely choices would probably be Rodart, or possibly Datian. Like Lazriel is more distinguished, but he's also more of a like there's questions there.
Wait, he was the one who wouldn't stop, like kept getting himself hurt, right? Like,
yes. Yeah,
yeah, that's what I thought. And so it's like he doesn't know how to. He like puts his pride before his. Like,
would you have put that in your like notes for when you're treating them? Is that something that would pop up when I'm reading it through? That you're like, he's not listening to me and healing.
Yeah, that would be in there.
Okay. Bit reckless.
I mean, Mariband's not gonna leave anything out of a report like that. That's gonna get him sent back to the
Not at the moment. He's like, I don't want to go back to the box. I don't want to go back to the box.
He blinked 17 times during our conversation.
You know, that just brings up a good question. A good thought is like, if he's reckless and he's doing that shit, and Morkan's doing the same thing, like Morkan is like, that's his like MO is being reckless, you know, or like it's what he's known for.
I can
like
be more reckless.
Yeah, like I wonder if there's like a weird rivalry between like
there's been moments where it looks likely. The problem is like Morkan is like, I would say, a little bit below his twin brother in terms of melee. And like both of them are fairly ranged based.
Right. Okay.
So that like there are instances where you disagree. Like you both see things in a very different way. The problem is it never leads to a competition or a rivalry because like Lazriel is refined and precise with melee.
Okay. So he's brimming with overconfidence that is causing his recklessness. Morakan doesn't think that far.
No.
Okay, it's more
He just
brutish
revels
confidence.
and the destruction of the Emperor's enemies.
Got it. Cool.
So
a different kind of reckless. Cool. That's good to know.
I would say he'd actually be closer to forming a rivalry with Morakil, just based on their outlook on combat, like the precision aspect and etc.
Do you think there was ever a moment where I'm just like I could see Morakil being like, "Fuck that guy," and I'm just like, "Brother, it's okay."
Look at me with my sword.
I think like there's instances where you feel like a little bit of a kind of like friction. The thing is like any time that would pop up, you know, Morakil is like I could get into it with this guy, but my brother just wandered off and I need to make sure he doesn't like walk into a wall or something, or you know, blow something up. So I'm just gonna, you know.
That's fair. Oh my god, I am the glue that holds Morakil together. Holy shit.
I mean, didn't we kind of learn that a bit from the last interaction between them?
Yeah. Yep. That's crazy.
Even a stop clock is right twice a day.
Yeah. I would say the only other thing that happens on the trip that could be of note is that Tech Marine Datian does wander into your Medicaid room, Maraban. So you get treated to the Tech Marine walking in and standing there as you are going about your duties and everything.
As I'm sitting there staring at the fucking wherever the gene seat is held, and not he's been there like almost constantly since they got back on the ship. So I'll be like, Tech Marine, how may I assist you?
Brother. Oh. Wait. There we go.
The voice.
Brother Silas.
Yes.
I have come to
inquire as to the status of the gene seed retrieved from Scout Sergeant Engadil.
Well, it is locked up right here. And he like points. I have been watching this vault since it was brought back here. I will give my life to protect this gene seed.
Confirmed. If there is a need for maintenance of the vault, please do not hesitate to contact me, as I do not consider your skills sufficient to deal with it.
And then he's gonna kind of like he's gonna be like, "You son of a bitch," but not like really. Okay, and he's gonna go, "Well, what would you suggest to protect the gene seed?"
I think your facilities are sufficient, however they may need maintenance.
Well, I will watch you, but you may perform maintenance. I will not leave this while I am aboard this ship. You are more than welcome to perform this maintenance, though. And if you pull anything I don't like, you will hear about it.
I have no intentions to pull anything from the vault. Do not be concerned. I merely mean to maintain your equipment that seems to be relatively in disrepair.
How many times have you been around gene seeds?
I have not thought to keep count.
You're a very logical individual, are you not? Okay,
What other way is there to be?
and he's just going to shake his head a little bit. Yes, I would like to know what you plan on performing or updating in the vault.
I can explain to you if you like, however, I do not believe you will understand.
Oh God. I'm scared.
I am not Morrican. I understand things of this world. And you treating me like that, it's a sour taste in my mouth, especially when it comes to the gene seed. Apothecaries know much about the ways of our kind. Do you think this knowledge is easily maintained? Do you think that any native individual could perform these duties?
No, I believe that your duties are very complicated and difficult. I don't believe that they are in any way related to the maintenance of machine.
I understand that. I'm just saying the way you speak to me. Take it in mind that I have a capable mind. Just remember this. And you can perform your duties. Upgrade the safe, the vault, and keep to yourself while doing so.
In that case, I will begin the maintenance of the vault. However, as I do, Brother Silas.
And he starts to move forward, and he kind of goes up towards this kind of vault area where the gene seed is kept, and mechadendrites come out, and there's a few sparks and bit as he starts to mess with it a little bit.
I do want it to be noted that in no way was I disparaging your mind. I believe you have a very intelligent and smart mind, one that can understand many things. I was calling into question your abilities.
And
Bro.
there's like a kind of like, because he's been questioning his own abilities since, obviously he got thrown into the penance box. He's just questioning what he did, how he performs as a space marine, all that stuff. And he's just like, he turns around and he's just like, you could see him just like just getting just angry, like visibly angry. And he's like, and then he thinks about it, and he's realizing this man is more machine than man at this point, and he's just like, do not hit this individual. Do not hit this individual. Do not, because it's like he's cycling everything that like just like all his own insecurities, and he like takes a long deep breath, turns back around, and he goes, and that's all I need to discuss.
And the tech marine carries on about his work, completely, probably completely unaware of the effect he has had.
Jesus, what a dick thing to say. Oh, you're not stupid. I just think you're incapable.
Yeah, you're incompetent, not stupid. Which is worse because you're saying you're smart enough to not be incompetent, but you're incompetent anyway.
Yeah, you're incompetent.
To be fair, that is his area, though.
I mean, yes, it is, but it's the way he said it. And also,
he's the least fucking human on the on a ship full of non-humans.
Yeah.
I mean,
and I'm like the most human space marine who's a little broken after all my things. So yeah, it's a little.
Yeah,
I'm stupid. No, just really bad at stuff.
Yeah, he also kind of hit a nerve with the abilities part, where it's like, I think his intention was like, hey, you kind of suck with machines, as does most of the Space Marines. However,
he's like, it's just that more he doesn't think, he just like, it's like everything is just plain and simple to him. It's like, oh, I'm better at you than all these technical things, and I'll bring it up if I have to. And
yeah. What a dick, basically.
Yeah.
Me and Moore can go drinking and like, that motherfucker.
Fuck that dude.
Fuck him.
He gave me a child lock for my gun.
That was funny as shit.
Didn't give him a child lock because he was stupid, though.
No.
Because he was incapable of keeping hold of his weapons.
God.
Not your mind, it's your abilities.
That's fucking amazing.
Oh, man.
And Mariban's just thinking, how could I get rid of the tech marine without anyone ever noticing?
All I'll say is be glad it's a tech marine and not a full-blown tech priest. They're even worse. They're just...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tech marines are like dip their toes in.
Yeah.
I feel like Morkan would have stopped by at some point, like later, and just like Mariban, like, you in here? Like, just like, are you alive still? What are you doing?
And you just see him, he's standing there with like basically at like kind of relaxed attention, just like staring at the vault, like just like all the time, just staring at the vault.
Like, and it's just like a closed, seal off like bulkhead, right? Like it's just a big metal door, right?
That's kind of what I was picturing. Yeah. And like,
Morkan just kind of goes up to it and kind of goes dunk dunk.
And then no, your hand goes in a Morkan, like not even like turning his hand. He just puts his hand out, grabs your fist, and goes, "Leave the vault alone, Morkan."
Morkan's just like, I had wanted to make sure it wasn't going anywhere.
I've been doing that myself, brother.
I mean, I can see that you've been here for, I don't know. How long will we have been on the warp, in the warp? Like, I know time is fucky when you're in the warp, but like roughly speaking,
roughly about like the entirety will be roughly about 2 weeks.
Okay.
So anywhere in between that, I'd say most likely at this point, unless you went there super early, probably like a week and a half.
Yeah, I'd say like a week and a half, and it's like, Mariban, it's not going anywhere.
Do you know what they did to me? And he actually kind of like smiles for once. And that's not going to happen again. I will not lose this gene seed. And I will not return to the penance box. Morkan, you've been there. You've
Yes.
spent time in it. How would you like that, but 30 days straight?
I wouldn't. But the thing
Exactly.
is, it's not going to change anything. I know that you're here working to make sure that it's safe, and that's good and respectable, and you're trying your best. But, man, have you eaten?
No, I have not moved from this room in 2 weeks. Almost 2 weeks.
You can't do your duty to the best of your ability. If we pull out of warp and we're in a fight immediately, you're not going to be at full strength. The gene seed isn't going anywhere. I know that you have to try. You have to pay your penance and do the things that you have to do to make sure it never happens again. It's a box. It's not going anywhere. We trust, and we'll save it together, and we'll work on it together. But trust in us that we'll take care of it. It's not completely your responsibility. It's not only you.
Who would be punished if it were something to happen? It would be
All
me.
of us.
No, it would not. This is my duty. The gene seed is my duty. You expect anyone else to sit here. Nobody else knows. Nobody else knows. You have an inkling. You have some kind of idea, Morkan. But and then you see him, he's just kind of like, just completely just zones out for a second. And it's like he's having flashbacks of the penance box. And then you see him snap back and he's like, I know you mean well, brother, and I appreciate it. I just would feel safer. I would feel better if I finish out the rest of the trip here. But I will do you one favor. If you stay here, I will go get some food. I will try to remain my strength. But I swear to the Emperor, if anything happens, you are going in that penance box, Morkan, and I will personally put you in it.
Wonderful. And then he just fucking slaps you on the back and kind of pushes you out of the room and just sits. He's just like, this is where I am now. Because Morkan was just he had that one interaction of I've also been in the penance box. It sucks. And I know that you're struggling with that shit, especially now that we have one of our brother's gene seeds that are in the vault here. And now it's a big thing. Now it's exactly that. So it's oh fuck, he's gonna go all the way back down there, and I don't want to lose our apothecary to this fucking madness of focusing on this so hard that nothing else happens. So Morkan's just I'm gonna get shot. Okay, I know I'm gonna get shot. And when I get shot, if you're not ready to heal me, we're all fucked, okay? So go get some goddamn food, and I'll watch your precious box with your gross organs in it, okay?
And you're the only reason he lets you do it, because he knows that you have some idea with the penance box. He's like, fine, I'll let Morkan watch it, and he's very singularly focused also. So
Silas, as you head off to the to get some rest, get some food, just be away from the Medicaid area.
Yeah.
Morkan, you plop yourself down, and as the camera very slowly starts to move away, maybe even fades a little bit, Morkan's sitting there, looking around. Morkan, could you please roll me a Medicaid?
Oh no! Oh no! Oh no!
All right.
Please tell me there isn't a big red button on the vault.
I got a 0 in Medicaid rating right now.
Oh no!
That's an intellect roll.
Oh, no.
So let's go ahead and see. I'm guessing no bonus die, right?
No
Not at all?
bonus die. You're lucky you're not getting negatives.
Oh no!
And here we go.
So out of 3 dice, you rolled no icons, no successes there. So as the camera pulls back and away, and the cat very slowly starts to fade, Morkan, you sit down, look around, and have no idea what it is you're supposed to be looking after.
Yeah, I don't even know which door I'm supposed to be looking at.
Could be anything.
I seem like I seem like opening cabinets and just like pulling shit out and just like,
Where is it? Which one is
Just
it?
like just eating some like bandages because he thinks it's food.
At one point, I look at the ceiling like, is it up there? I don't even know.
come back and there's like a hypodermic needle sticking out of the side of his neck or something like that. And I come back like say like even like I do maybe I eat and then go rest for a little bit and I come back and Morkan's there and he's just like all like they're like drawers open and like chairs knocked over and I'm just
There's
like
absolutely a dead servitor on the ground. There's absolutely a dead servitor on the ground.
I wasn't
It's like-
sure what I was supposed to be protecting, so I just killed anything that came near.
It got too close. I didn't know what it was doing, and it's not worth it. I killed it.
And it's funny because Morkan is obviously no one came after the vault and it's just like Mariband doesn't notice any other things. He just is like, brother, I've returned. I see that you have upholded your duty and thank you.
Wonderful. Don't fucking do that again, because when I get shot the next time, and if you're not up to stuff, I'm gonna die, so are you and everybody else, all right? Take care of your dumb self and ask for help. And Morkan just storms off.
And then Mariband's like, he just looks around and he's like, what the fuck did this idiot do? He's just like everything everywhere. And just
So
He's made a little smiley face out of band-aids on the floor.
I see him like playing tic-tac-toe with himself on the wall, like with like markers or something like whatever that equivalent is.
Losing.
So the camera pans away out into space, into the vast emptiness of space.
I mean the warp, because I don't think I want to see that.
Where a kind of circle in reality bends in and kind of expands out with purple and pink and whatnot. And the strike cruiser punctures its way back out into real space. After a little bit of time, Sergeant Tykar, you are hailed through the ship
I
complex.
would probably be on the bridge if we were coming out into real space.
You would have been notified then, so you'll be on the bridge. There is a flurry of activity as the commander essentially starts ordering some scans, etc. Immediately upon being reported, I imagine actually in this instance, the report would go directly to you. One of the ratings, or, bridge workers, let's say, gives you a killer and says, Lord, no signs of the requested ship on scans.
None whatsoever.
No ship bearing the insignia or the signal of the Inquisition, Lord.
How many vessels are around the planet?
So there's probably a fair load of transportation and smaller merchant style vessels. There are no frigates or military grade ships. However, as you are familiar with the Inquisition to a degree, it is mostly common for an inquisitor to travel in official pomp and ceremony. Sometimes they don't, sometimes they go undercover. The agents of the Inquisition very often go subtly. So they'll go via
With a rogue trader or something.
yeah, hitch a lift with a rogue trader or take a transport in and then go with something to infiltrate and depending on how long they've been here, they might have been here for a while.
I want a complete scan of the planet, and I want all transmissions listened in on. A full report. I'll be in the war room.
Yes, Lord. The commander also turns to you and says, do you wish us to approach the planet, Lord, and submit our presence, or?
No, please wait. I need more information first.
Yes, Lord.
If you are hailed, do not hide yourself. Well, let's hope we don't get hailed yet.
So,
And
yeah, for now, the ship will stay on the periphery of the system and not hide, but also not say, hey, how do you do?
yeah, pretty much. We're not hiding, but we're just not going to the.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll just go over the comms.
Chaplain Nafir to the war room.
There's a small montage of me marching through the corridors past like Morrigan's trying to throw up a bit of cheese and catch it. And I'm back past the door, marching past. And get to the war room.
Brother Chaplain, we have arrived. We have a problem. Maybe. There's no Inquisition ship. That means there's no Inquisitor here. Just an agent. Now we don't know how he got here. I have the ship mistress monitoring comms. I've not announced our presence, as I'm unsure of our ingress.
Perhaps we should consider our point of ingress together with what we shall tell our brothers in terms of the mission's goal.
We cannot. We cannot tell them the mission's goal, of course.
Exactly. We must make sure that whatever we tell them, that appears to be what we are doing when we make our move. This is all I'm saying. We have to consider it. If we don't have a way to pinpoint where the agent is, we know their ways to some degree.
Perhaps we don't need to find the agent. Perhaps if we ingress loud, they will find us.
Then our ingress should be our best guess at their location. What would make sense? Where we would act from if we were acting. in stealth.
Do we have a scan of the planet yet?
It's a little bit far away to get a detailed scan, but yeah.
Do we have any tactical information about where? Well, we know some of the things where they're fighting and
Yeah, I
who the
mean-
insurgents are, right?
As it's an Imperial world, and they have been sending out requests, and there are Imperial regiments on the planet, and etc. It's not completely taken over. About half of the planet is in the hands of the enemy.
It's a full-blown civil war.
Oh yeah. It's essentially like the details of it. It's been going on for quite a while, a couple of years. It started off seemingly. It seemed to be just a regular kind of like riots and discontent and so slowly getting worse and worse and worse. by the time they realized that it was actually something threatening, as opposed to just the regular discontent, like at least like 3 or 4 hive cities had already kind of fallen. And that just expanded. By the time the Imperial Guard regiments got there, it was enough time to start setting up defenses and hold. They just don't have enough forces yet to push. So
Right.
they're holding a bit of a tug of war of back and forth, but mostly it's just waiting for reinforcements.
Which hive is the governor's palace?
It's the oh wait, give me a second.
I bring up like on the war room display, like the display of the planet currently, and update it with, you know, any of the battle data and requests and stuff we've got.
You have the basic layout of the Imperial side of things. You know, the rest is just kind of like general enemy troop deployments and so forth. But you have the places where there are bunker systems and where there are big trench lines and HQs and supply depots and stuff like that. All of which are generally connected to the hive cities still in Imperial hands. The governor's is in the largest, the capital one. Right up at the...
Is the capital close to the line?
Reasonably close to the line, but not that close, no.
Okay.
I point out a couple spots across it, saying perhaps here, or here. If they have a suspect in hand, they'll want him safe, but close enough that they can act on information if they need to.
Where their power would hold weight. We should land in the governor's palace. All battle
Certainly, would certainly get attention.
Teardrops from the sky. Chaplain, arrange our war party. I will speak to the ship mistress.
Very well.
Fucking drop pods of the governor's mansion. Let's go.
I put out a message across the ship. 4th Company, gather in the war room.
Okay, within a short amount of time, the 4th Company have gathered in the war room.
And I'll speak to the ship mistress, and I speak to the ship mistress. I should just speak to the ship mistress, shouldn't I? Ship mistress.
Lord.
We'll announce our presence. I would like an intercept heading directly for the planet. You're going to drop Tears of the Angel directly above the governor's palace.
Yes, Lord.
Needs to be done fast and loud. And then you can pull back and hold position. And the brothers are on board.
Question from Sheepy. Did you say do not announce our presence or announce our...
Like, we're going in hot, we announce our presence, we drop, we land, boom, higher. It's us, the Dark Angel.
Okay.
We don't know how to find this person. We don't have a scout to find this person. We need to announce ourselves so they know where we are. And the chaplain was right. They'd probably keep them there. That's the Inquisition was probably got the governor wrapped around their finger, right?
Yeah.
Because the governor's like, whatever you want.
Mm-hmm.
So, in that case, there will be a little period of time as the ship moves towards the planet, and the Marines gather for the war room. There is most likely a subordinate would be sent to you to say, Sign of the Aquila, Lord, our presence has been announced to the governor. He has invited you to attend him at his throne room, palace room.
Can we drop as close as possible to that? Without murdering people, obviously. But I want
Right
to.
by the front door.
I need everyone that is within like a couple of miles of the palace to know that the Fidelis Angelus just landed. Like,
So the headquarters, let's call it, of the governor, does have a landing pad. You're not gonna land on that with a drop pod. I mean, you may, but you may just go straight through it as well. So if you wanted to land with a god, the name of the machine is a Thunderhawk. If you wanted to land with a Thunderhawk, that would be noticed. And it would
you've only got one Thunderhawk though, right?
No, you have 3. They have been generally used at the disposal of the planet as opposed to at the disposal of the squad. But
does he have a garden with a big fountain in it that we could crush? Maybe something.
Just a drop pod right in a fountain.
Yeah.
it is towards the spire of the hive, so it's.
Can I ask the ship mistress then for all 3 Thunderhawks? We won't let them know we've only got 3, but all 3, and escort ships as well, which can leave when we've landed and disembarked.
So, kind of a big procession to make a big hullabaloo of.
We're supposed to be a strike cruiser with a full retinue on board, like but we're just gonna, we're just here now with this squad to see what's going on before we launch everyone else. But they need to know we're a lot bigger. It's like a cat making itself look big, right?
Yes. So essentially, you send down your group with everything, and then have them like move around and look like they're disseminating forces to the battlefield.
Yes.
Okay.
Exactly.
In that case, absolutely. Although
sending a drop pod directly through like his throne room.
Oh yeah! Trying to make some noise. Oops! Killed the governor.
Yes.
Squishy.
So, I think in that case we'll move to the landing.
Yeah, and when I've gathered everyone in the war room before we leave, since the sergeant's elsewhere, I'll give them the quick brief on the mission again, just so everyone's sure. We are landing on a planet called Sotnasum. There is a civil war that has followed the presence of chaos. We are here to bring peace and to cleanse. This is our mission. This is our duty. Brothers, are you prepared?
Fork out and just clanks.
Yeah, smash at the same time. Yes, chaplain.
Tim, I probably got a blink message to say, bring them to the Thunderhawks. We're going from the sergeant.
Let's go.
Yeah.
As they are doing the classic slow motion hero walk, a la that scene in Face Off in the church where where it's like similar to that. I have a question for Nephil. Just in the privacy of his own head, how is he responding to being called chaplain? Because that hasn't happened before.
Yeah, it was far more comfortable than the apprehension of it. Like there was a lot of anticipation for finally getting to do it, and then when he done it, it just felt right.
Yeah.
So, I have a question. Would Merban or any of the other, not inner circle people be like, we traveled through 2 weeks through the void to help with the civil war? Would we be like kind of going, I smell bullshit, or would they just be like, oh, okay? I mean, because that's like, it seems like a lot of resources for like this squad and go travel. We were running around killing orcs and you know, like, and gene like stealers and all this stuff, and they travel us for 2 weeks to get to a civil war. I don't know. I think Mayorban at least would be like, this is a little odd.
And they pulled us away. Like we don't know the mission. Like Morkan and Mariband, like we don't know the mission. So like, I'm kind of pissed that I missed this. But like, yeah, we're not told what the hell. Like, why didn't we just stay and fight there? Like, or maybe we were told something like it was a lost cause and we weren't able to do that or whatever. But like, we were just whisked away. And like, Morkan, I don't know. Maybe part of it is like that we're used to Dark Angel bullshit.
I would say Morkan and the others definitely. Silas less so, but probably. I'd say the only person who really would have difficulty with it would probably be Arcorian. He hasn't been serving long enough really to be used to it. But there have been times where you guys have just been, you know, you like suddenly it's like boom, gone, like time to leave, we've got something to do, and you know, so it's probably something that you find weird but not commentable because it's happened before and you're like, oh, okay, it's one of these.
That's why I asked, not not Mariband, like, but I was just curious how it would be like perceived. Okay, cool.
So we will landing with not really pomp and ceremony, but more along the lines of an impressive kind of like, I want to say column, that's not quite right.
I would have instructed everyone that we go loud as soon as we land, everyone bursts out and clears everything. I would have said about the Civil War and there is heretics and the arch enemy on the planet. And I want everyone to, as if we're in a combat zone, but hold the trigger. I want everyone to like come out and do as if they're like clearing, making sure everything's safe, lands and goes somewhere. So it looks like we've just combat landed. It has to be big, and they have to, like, this is just for inner circle stuff, but like people need to know that we are, you know, we're very loyal, and we take this ship very seriously.
Every Dark Angel ever, we're very loyal.
We are very loyal. There's just a few bad actors.
Loyal.
When you land and start moving out kind of towards the entrance to the interior of this area, there is a squad of what looks like PDF waiting for you, and someone with a colonel's insignia. Who gives this sign of the a major's insignia, gives the sign of the Aquila, and says, Major Rawn, my lord, the Nasumian welcomes you to the planet and bids you to please come and visit him in the headquarters.
Well, I'm full battle plate. I've even got my little sergeant's cape on, helmet, wings, the full.
Take me there now.
And immediately another sign of the Aquila spins around, the squad spins, trying to be as efficient and impressive as possible. It's not super impressive. Like, you know, it is what it is.
Morrigan has trouble, like, getting his left hand and left arm, right arm, the marching lined up. He's kind of like... Never get the hang of it.
Shit.
Left, right, left, right.
Damn it. Left, up. What?
BA start. God damn it.
No.
Does
I
Morgan know
don't
his left
think
from his
that
right?
I
is the
would
question.
stand for incorrect
Yeah.
marching.
I think I'd be
If that has
fucking
happened
trouble.
before, that has been addressed. There is no way
Yeah,
I
that's a
would
good
have
point.
my crew just. Which one is my?
Morgan's
Yeah.
got the receipts, literally, and he's looked at them recently.
There might be you might hear some extra like servo sounds or something like that in his arm, or kind of like where he's just like a fuck, like, but he
Not
but he
over
gets
comms, but you're going left, right, left.
it. Yeah. Yeah. This is not the easiest thing in the world for me, but I'm making it. We're making it.
He's like this. He's like, okay, left, right.
Yeah.
And as the Astartes are led into the headquarters, you walk in, you see multiple screens and lots of running assistants and kind of military-looking personnel going back and forth. There is a fairly large throne with this portly, a mixture of decrepit and portly, a little bit, maybe even a little bit sweaty, kind of man in robes and lots of tubes like coming out from his throne and attaching to him. The scene fades and fades back in on a very imperious, stern-faced looking man in a room somewhere that is almost completely dark, aside from one light protruding from the ceiling, with a little bit of that classic interrogation triangular light. And as he leans forwards and the shadows part a little ways away from enshadowing his face, he says, "Now, tell me again about the cell of traitors you work for." And we fade away and finish
Hey,
for the day.
finally.
Yeah.
Oh.
Cliffhanger.
The timey sheepy, you nailed it.
Left.
We got
right,
there.
Right. Left. Right. Fuck.
That would be a fun montage to walk, like go through, like everyone teaching Morrigan how to march. And Datian putting in some like algorithms to just make his legs move. Like
Yeah.
he's supposed to.
He just makes his soup copying Morakil's. Morakil's got that marching button he just presses.
We can reprogram him. We have the technology.
It's just like RoboCop, like in the Warhammer universe, just like making him the most efficient soldier possible.
So, seeing as time is a little bit of necessity, I am going to run through. I won't do the regular all of my things. Patreon is the most important, guys. And, you know, in general for the live streams, if you do want to ask a question of anyone live, you can jump in, throw in a super chat. I'll read it at the end, which is what I'm going to do now.
Yeah, let's do it.
We don't have a super load of questions, but I will read out the super chats we have received, because not all of them are questions. We have Mark, also Mark3186, also known as Mark Numbers, and the crazy man who throws money at he's been a patron for ages. He says, brother.
I agree.
We also have Corval. Thank you for the super chat, Mark, and thank you for the super chat, Corval, who says, as the Tyranids invade, they hear no invading. They turn and all see a fist coming straight ST them.
At them.
Great that.
Thank you. Yeah, okay. I was like, straight coming at them, and wake up about half a day later. Love, Charlie Foxtrot. Wish to see something like it in the future. That is a reference to Commissar Friendly, who we talked about last week. Essentially, there was a running joke whereby anyone who pissed off Commissar Friendly would see like a giant fist coming at them and then wake up half a day later. I think
last thing I saw was a giant fist. After that, I don't know.
we had two different casts of a Pegasi Guard, which is where Commissar Friendly is attached. Two different squads of Pegasi Guards. I think every single character at some point got knocked out and woke up half a day later. And finally, we have Damned Man. Damned Man, thank you very much for the super chat. This question is for all the cast. Out of all the major or minor Ordos, which would be the worst to deal with?
For the Dark Angels or for our characters?
I would say it a guess for your characters, but maybe just Dark Angels in general.
That question is the same for my character. I think he is the Dark Angels. I am Dark Angels, damn it.
I am the Dark Angels.
I
am Iron Man.
But from my more limited understanding of the lore, it would be like Ordo Hereticus or something, because they've got a very similar goals, and I mean, they're competent for humans, so they get somewhat close, and that is somewhat in my way. I'm going to assume most of the time.
I'm gonna go a try hard answer here and do one of the minor Ordos, and say that the where is it? Ordo Redactus. The Ordo that is trying to keep the history of the Inquisition classified. We've totally dealt with these fuckers before, and they're so annoying because you're just like, I don't know what you're talking about. Shut the fuck up and tell me what the truth is. God damn it. Like,
what's the truth? It doesn't exist. Nothing exists.
Exactly.
I would put forth the Ordo Vigilus, as it is an Ordo that oversees another Ordo.
I see that, and
Which,
that's just. What does the Ordo Necros do? Like,
it is unclear. There are 5 Inquisitors. They are the only members of the Ordo Necros. I'm assuming it's something to do with the Necrons, based on the name. However, the thing that makes Vigilus like kind of scary is they're an overseer of another Ordo, which means they're used to nothing is worse than having an Ordo investigating another Ordo.
It's
True.
space bureaucracy.
Yeah.
yeah, right.
Oh, fuck that.
It's like Ordo squared, basically. They're trained in catching out other Inquisitors. That's,
Jesus Christ.
And I have no idea how to answer that question, so I'll let Peachy answer it.
Yeah, Peachy.
Oh yeah. I just gonna go with the big. It would be Hereticus, and it would be specifically a renegade Inquisitor. Because there is a dance that goes on with the Inquisition and the Dark Angels, because there are rules and things can be hidden in rules, and they can't fully push, and you can't fully push back because they still have to hold and maintain this persona or whatever. But a renegade would do whatever it fucking takes to find the fuck out, and that would be the worst thing.
Yeah.
I'd say possibly the Ordo Excorium as well.
Which is that one?
But they monitor Exterminatuses.
Yeah, probably dealt with one of those.
Yeah. Oh, you've definitely dealt with them before.
I feel like the one that looks over the Mechanicum or Adeptus Mechanicus would also be just awful.
Yeah.
I think they'd be terrible at their job because the Mechanicum are like, no, and everyone has to go.
Like,
I guess.
Okay.
I
guess that's the case now.
It's like the easiest job in the Inquisition. It's like, what did you do? We tried to investigate the Mechanicum and didn't get anywhere again. Okay.
We asked the mechanic. We asked the Fabricator General of Mars if they're doing anything wrong. They said no, and we went okay.
and
next year,
and then we had a sandwich. It was nice.
Yeah,
it was a good year.
Anyway, we get to keep our equipment and ships.
So thank you very much for the super chats, guys. Go check out the Patreon, and we will finish and immediately head off with the outros for everyone. I'm Sheepdog. Yeah. That's about all you need, and let's go from Maraban and also Rod.
Okay. I'm Rod. I'm on Twitch at Rod_Johnston, and I'm on Twitter X at the same place, and Instagram. And I have a podcast. It's a horror movie podcast called Murder Moose. So you can check that out, and it comes out on Thursdays. So I think that's everything.
Sorry. Yes, let's go.
Yeah.
I'm so used to. We do like a hot potato where you pass it on. I forgot that we don't do this on Fallen. Let's swing it over hot potato to Peachy, also Tycar.
Hi, I'm Peachy Pixelate. I hope you enjoyed today. You can follow me on things, just search Peachy Pixelate. Click in the description below and you'll see a YouTube channel where there will be a video.
Oh, yeah.
Very soon. By the time you click it. Okay, not by the time you click. Depends when you click it. Click it.
Just keep clicking it. Just don't stop. Just don't stop clicking
Keep clicking it.
It'll be there eventually.
It's actually very cool, and I'm super proud of it, but it's not ready yet because I'm a perfectionist.
I'm looking forward to it.
Speaking of perfectionists, goobers.
Wrong. I'm Goobers515. I am a streamer, and you can find me at Goobers515 literally everywhere. But yeah, if you guys like screaming, yelling, I mean, basically Morcon is the extension of my own mental state. So yeah, hop on into my streams, watch the chaos. We're gonna be doing RNG, which is a news show tonight, where our saying is some of the news, some of the time, with the Rom Show and special guest Spoonie. Tomorrow is going to be Lethal Company. Wednesday is going to be Lethal Company. By the way, if you guys want to join in Lethal Company 30-player mod, then you're all welcome. We need bodies to fill, and it's going to be freaking chaos. So there you go. Wednesday, that's what's happening. And then it's the holidays. So yeah, Goobers515 everywhere you can find me. Thanks for being here, guys. This has been fucking great.
If you'd like to watch his live streams, go visit twitch.tv/Bricky. Zakonicus, please.
Hi everyone, I'm Scoticus, and I do things on the internet, and those things aren't just being on Twitter. I'm on other sites as well, if that exists.
Man, I've taken some shots today, huh?
You have absolutely taken some shots today. It's been great.
You can find me here on the Wandering Inferno doing Fallen, and some point next year I have another project lined up, and you shall see me on the internet doing more of the role playing. And if you're like desperately wanting to throw praise or money at me, I have a coffee. I have one of those too, and you can jump over there. And if you're like, oh man, this guy's so brilliant and creative, you can give me money and I'll help you be brilliant and creative too. I do that. So if you got a TTRPG campaign or a novel or something you're working on, I'm your ideas guy. Come at me. You can find details about that over on my coffee.
I think it's coffee because you buy people a coffee.
Coffee.
Yeah. Do that over there.
I thought of it as Kofi, but I don't know.
So, thank you for watching, everyone. We're going to head off, and my final thought for the day is, just know, I am not super tired. I think I have some allergies going on. So, if I look like I'm almost falling asleep, it's actually just swelling. Which is what I said to the policeman when he arrested me. Anyway, let's go. See you later.
Bye.
See you later, guys. Thanks for watching.